As a head of a delegation, my greatest fears are for my own people. And I find that that is perhaps even more stressful than being in those situations myself, because I'm responsible for these people. I put them in, I make the decision. For every place I send a delegate, there is a security situation that is unique to that area. I happen to think that the greatest asset that any national society can give to an operation is their delegates. I know we need the funds, I know we need the gifts in kind, but it's the people. I mean, they're the priceless elements of any donation. So I reckon they need looking after.
I feel it very rewarding to work closely with people and to feel that people are growing in their roles.
It would be very, very important how you work together and how you can lead your work in the field with the districts.
Ky grup do jetë shumë I rëndësishëm, ka të bëjë me mënyrën se si do të bashkëpunojmë së bashku, si do punoni dhe si do drejtoni punën në terren.
Because together you will shape the Albanian Red Cross.
Sepse së bashku juve do të jepni drejtimin kryqëzor.
Sometimes I feel that that is the most important thing, or that's the only thing that we can do sometimes, is to strengthen people so that they can have more self-confidence and make their job better.
Well, it's also I've been a refugee. So when you're a refugee, you have this, shall I say, the desire to adapt to the place where you are living. So in here, my skin is a little bit like Khmer, so they think I'm sometimes Khmer. They just come speak to me in Khmer, then they found out that I don't speak Khmer. And I think in here I feel very accepted.
When you work as delegate, you are many things. You are many persons. You have many work because you must manage one staff of local people. You must can drive. You must have many experience in a lot of things.
When we go to the village for distribution, they talk about the Red Cross movement and the Albanian Red Cross National Society and what we can do after the distribution in terms of disaster preparedness.
This food is provided from the Red Cross. We know that the food supply is limited this year.
Ne dim që ushqimet janë pak të kufizuara për këtë vit.
And we hope next year the economy will be better.
The whole idea of the job of a delegate is to train people how to do that themselves, to train them how to choose the beneficiaries, to train them how to store wheat flour and how to transport it, and to give them standards to work with, and then to watch them go with it.
I see my work as a facilitator. I am the snowplow in the front so that the health delegates can do their work peacefully and have everything cleared. But that means 90% of my time is negotiations with everyone.
Yeah, the plane today is the Red 44 that is coming in is approximate 12:30, 13:30.
With whom on board?
The ICRC tracing people.
Coming on a mission like this, there are a few things I feel that are important to know about yourself. Why you're doing it, how you feel about doing it. Whether you would have the courage to say, if it isn't quite right, I should return. And some people find that that is difficult. And knowing that the situation you've left at home is a situation you can return to.
I think I made a mistake in coming in Albania. The job, the position was very challenging, that's why I accepted. But for my family, it gives too much hardship.
One thing I feel that is, we talk about the different cultures that we come to in the country, but I have also felt that it is very different to come to a delegation that has been very many nationalities, and that has been almost more a culture shock for me than it was to come to Albania in a way.
The best way was for the family, for talk, it's with the eyes. Because in eyes you can see everything. You can have a friendly regard, you can have a crazy regard, and you can talk many things with your eyes.
It's not easy to adjust to a culture. I have difficulties with it, but I find it a challenge personally, so I like that challenge. There are difficulties learning, there's difficulties with the outside cultures, there's learning even the inside culture of the Red Cross and the people that you're working with, the Kenyan Red Cross, the Federation staff, and then the whole culture on the outside of where you are. It takes adjustment, but I like that, I find it challenging. When you're coming out on a mission or you're going somewhere, to really try to have an open mind with your work, with the people around you, and with your colleagues. And if you can kind of bend with the wind, so to speak, then it's harder to be broken.
Basically our role here is not to do the hands-on work, it's to advise and to assist. But as you develop the program and as you get the Kenya Red Cross staff members in place and as they're getting more and more competent in doing their jobs, then you pull back and you just look at new areas or how things are developing or assessing what's happening. I like having it where there's never a day that's the same as the other one, and where something could change within a moment's notice. I like that.
I think we do work together as a team and we support each other. The other two delegates have specialist roles, so is responsible for the physically handicapped, which is a big group of vulnerable. And Tamara looks at the quality of teaching of the social work issues, which is another big issue that we have. So I find that it's very good to have worked as a team where we all have our different specialities and we can complement each other.
I'm working in the camps and I'm having a counterpart, which is a kind of head nurse in the similar position as I have. It's a counterpart I have identified within the last few months I've been here. And then we have in each of the different departments, feeding, program, sanitation, community health and MCH, a Kenya Red Cross staff who is responsible for the department in each of the camps. I think it's important that you realize what kind of position Red Cross actually are working on, because it's a very strict structure and it's very good for you if you know how the organization actually is built up.
Are these still the people from the original accident?
Yeah, I mean, you are going to find all the men and the traction all from that accident.
I just gave yesterday my plan of action to the desk officers. So my paper job is over. I'm going just to be a doctor.
This is a social centre, so how are you going to control the visiting hours?
Without
having a guy at the front?
I don't know. I'll try to do it.
And is there a point at which it's best just to almost have it as a social thing? If you can keep more control in here than you can.
But you know what the problem is? Now we are all year round, huh? So they stay there. But usually they come into the rooms.
Well, you're saying
And they
you-
stop you every time. Hey, doctor, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. Well, you are right.
And the sheep and the goats has come in with it.
Yeah, camels coming in.
So this is from
As a head of delegation, my job is to harness those strengths in a way that it's like a team of horses. And that's really what I feel as though I've got here. I've got a team of very, very strong, powerful horses, all with extremely independent natures that if I can, and my job is to sort of keep them going in the straight line. If I do, then I've got a really powerful program. If I don't, I have an equally powerful disaster on my hands.
The streets are the living rooms for people who live in Tirana. People live in very small apartments. They don't have telephones. They walk out in the streets to meet their friends. They walk out in the streets to communicate. They meet every Saturday in that street corner, that group of friends to see each other. So I mean, the town is where people meet and socialize.
It's not that cold in Albania actually, but the point is you don't get hot nowhere because there is no eating nowhere, no restaurant, no shop, no public building, nowhere there is heating. So it's cold from the morning till night, always it's cold. So you'll never get hotter.
When you are going on a mission, you are not going on holidays. So you must expect that you may not have hot water every day, you may not have the perfect living conditions that you can have in your country, but you expect that this is part of your mission.
We work where things don't work well. We work in countries and in regions where there are disasters, and disasters destroy what limited resources that already exist in a poor country.
At the garage we really have a good staff. The whole delegation has a good staff, but the garage staff is really the best. I'm taking care of the administrative part, and Jenny is taking care of the technical point of view. And Jenny has to train a lot the mechanics because the only cars I've seen were Chinese trucks of about 40 years old, and no spare parts, no tools, nothing, no specialized technology like we have in the West.
I have also the fantastic possibility to go out in the provinces when I think now it's time to go out to monitor in Kompong Thom or in Battambang. Then I can do it. And so I get some refreshment, you could say, from the traveling.
Last month we lost 2 vehicles, and but then since then we put some security measure on the vehicles, and we have curfew now. No vehicle to be driven after 6 o'clock, so still imposed. And so far we're doing good. No vehicle lost. Yeah.
Having to lock and double lock your vehicle every single moment that you're out of it. Having to constantly be aware when you park a vehicle anywhere of what is going on around you. And that, I imagine, over a prolonged period of time is a bit of a strain. I try to make it a point to get out to the field as often as I can. And not just to the field in Cambodia either. I think it's important for delegations in the region to react with each other. But just speaking first of travel within Cambodia, I try to make it a point every month, say, to visit at least 2 of the provincial sites where we have programs.
The commune nurse and midwives, they are doing immunization and antenatal care, antenatal clinic, because it's
It's they who are going to continue. So the idea is not that Anita should be doing the job, she should just train the supervisors on the spot. Sonia's role is to keep an eye on the provincial hospital in Kompong. She has supported the management of the hospital. She follows the drug distribution as we still continue to supply with drugs, other material to the hospital. He has also responsibility for supervision of the training of volunteers in his province or in the district in Pursat.
You have to come with open mind. Once you come with open mind, you can learn, you can teach. And I think that's for me very important.
But here we live in the reality. And reality is changing all the time.
And there are times when you think, well, how much more can I give? Because if you were available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the demands would still keep coming. And if you offered everything that was possible from a physical perspective, it seems that there are always demands in other areas.
In this environment here, everything has to end with a handshake and with a smile. You cannot afford someone going sulking out of the door because that is a threat. You have to call him back in again, and if you have to spend 3 hours, you have to spend 3 hours making this person to understand or trying to understand his problem yourself and trying to come to a place where we understand each other and then shake hands and both smile.
And for someone who is thinking about coming into this business, that is an element that, and there's no way to learn it. It's like riding a horse. Sooner or later you've got to get on the back of it and see how it goes. And if you can last for more than 8 seconds, you win the rodeo prize. Very, very difficult, stressful work, and there's no way around that. It has tremendous compensations, but it's probably the hardest working environment a person could imagine, both physically, emotionally, and mentally. So if I haven't completely ruined anybody's interest in doing it, go for it.